So it's the next day, I'm back up here at the work site, and as you can probably hear, we got things going on. Behind me, the excavator there is digging out some of the big rock. So that's the stuff that they've broken up with a rock hammer and now needs to come out. Meanwhile, we have got a truck. That truck is bringing some fines, some kind of sand. That's what we're going to use to backfill all of the trenches that we dig for the conduit. So he is going to be dumping that in a big pile just down here, and when he's empty, we're then going to load it up with the rocks, and our contractor's taking those back to his pit where he'll be able to crush them. And whether they'll come back here or he'll use them on another job, not sure, but he's also paying us for those, which is really good as well. Today it's been raining. It was 90% humidity even before it started raining today, and there is a lot going to happen. For now, we're just trying to stay out of the way. They know what they're doing and they don't need us, so we're just going to stay out of the way and watch. How is it?
Good. I think it could have ripened a little bit more.
That's so good.
Compared to store-bought ones, some flavor.
You cannot get a fresher tomato than that. Pick it, eat it. I like it.
Our contractor delivered 4 more loads of sand. This is going to go at the bottom of the electric and sewer trenches. Unfortunately, the small excavator part on the wheels broke, so they'll get the part and it will be fixed tomorrow. But in the meantime, the excavator is hammering out kind of a few high spots that we need for the foundation of the utility building. And then we also marked, again, the corners of the utility building, and we also marked where the water line is going to go. And we marked the root of it on the ground with spray paint. And now he's hammering out kind of the high spots on that line so that we can get it as deep as possible. In the meantime, I marked where the electric line is going to go. So it's going here about 20 feet from the wall, and I put the string line and then I marked with the spray paint where it's going to go. This area here is actually quite low, so on different reference sticks, like over here and kind of by the driveway, this one here, I marked what is going to be the final grade height. So actually it turns out that in this area we're not gonna have to dig so deep for the electric, because it's going to get covered with the topsoil anyways, which is good news because we have a lot of rock underneath here. Yeah.
Today has been an absolutely huge day on the site. We just accomplished so much. It looks so different from how it was when it started this morning. We came out fairly early this morning and just began loading up the wagon with some of the roots and the bits of stump and things and took those back into the forest. Then our contractor made it here late morning with the part needed to repair the excavator. Again, they are abusing these machines on this rock. It's really taken their toll and they're really wearing out parts. That was a roller from inside the track they had to replace. Once he got that done, he was then able to start taking out a load of the rock that yesterday he'd been attacking with the rock hammer on the other excavator. So that was in there in the utility building site. Once he was done that, we were able to join him and start going for the conduit runs. And that's a big moment for us. Laying the conduit is really difficult because a lot of the different things we have to lay are, some are temporary, some are permanent. They are at different depths depending on what they are. Some are going to the temporary backboard. Some are going to the utility building, some are stubs, some are going to the well, some are going to the transformer. Like, there's a lot of different things going on and it's really hard to kind of get your head around it all. So we've been trying to do the best we can to make this clear. What makes it really challenging is there's a lot going on in a fairly small space and the bucket on the excavator is 3 foot wide. So whenever he makes a trench like this, it sort of overlaps with other trenches coming across and that just makes it really hard to get your head around. It's not like nice clean lines on the ground. Plus, we can't just draw all this out on the ground, which you may be thinking is the obvious thing to do, because whenever we do, within an hour or two, the excavator's been through and those lines have all but disappeared again. We've put these down several times and they keep disappearing. But check out this progress. So I'm standing here now, kind of at the edge of the utility building, and if I turn around, it's sunny today, you might be able to see this giant pit behind me. This is where the transformer is going to be. So way off over there is our final electrical pole. The power, the primary service will come down that pole across to about where you can see the backboard just leaning there at the moment. Not too far from there. And then it'll come parallel with the wall up to this point. And we're going to have a pad mount transformer. There will not be a transformer at the top of that pole there. It's going to be over here. There are a couple of reasons we did that. I won't go into those right now, but that's where the transformer is going to be. He was then able to dig the trench along here to where our backboard will be. The backboard you can see standing over there. That's going to be mounted over here, as well as giving us space to install the ground rods and things like that that go with it. Then he started on that main primary service trench. This top bit is at the depth we need. Further down it's not. And that is actually one of the most challenging things, is getting the depth, because we actually haven't done the final grading yet. So when, for example, you have to dig a trench 3.5 feet deep, that is compared to the final grade. But we haven't added all that topsoil on yet. Because we're raising the grade in so many places, it doesn't really make sense to fill all the material in to then re-excavate it for the conduit trench. So some of our trenches down here are like maybe 12 inches deep, because we're going to add a few feet of fill on top of that. So that's what he's been working on today. There's still more to be done there, but one of the big consequences of that is we now have a big trench going across the driveway. We have marooned ourselves here at the build site, and we can no longer get up and down here. So we had to make a decision earlier today. Which vehicles do we want on which side of the road? We've got our truck parked off down the driveway near the RV, this big trench coming across, and then we've kept the tractor up here as well. And we've got this big pile of crushed rock here, which is what we're going to be using to put under things like the transformer pad and the backboard. So it's just a lot of logistics, it's a lot of planning, and kudos to people that do this, civil engineers and contractors that work in this stuff day to day. It is insanely complex. And for two of us who've never done this before, we were saying earlier, I hope this is our first and last transformer pad that we ever have to install, because it is really really hard work mentally as well as physically. So tomorrow, our contractor should be back on site. He's going to be hammering out some of the rock that goes across the driveway there to help us get the depth we need. We are then going to start installing things like the transformer pad, getting that installed, and then we can start running conduit. and I am really excited about this. We have had the conduit sitting down there by the shipping container now for about 6 weeks, I think it is. And I'm just really excited to get it out of the ground. I think just getting the conduit in will feel like such a huge milestone. I am really excited about that. When it's in, before we backfill, we'll need to call the electricity company and get them to come and inspect it. Fingers crossed, they're all okay with it. It is a bit unusual having an inspection to check the depth of a trench when your trench is almost at grade, because we haven't filled in around it. We've spoken to them. They have said that that's fine, that's not unusual, and they can work with that. So we'll just have to see what they say when they come out, and hope they understand that we are going to be adding a lot of fill around that. And that should be going in very soon. That'll be in before we start using that conduit for sure. You can probably see there's some trees up on that edge there. We want to take those out, give ourselves a little bit more space. The excavator is going to try and get up there and clear some of that topsoil as well, just to help the grade up there a little bit. And we were able to chip a tree at, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which we haven't done that in a long time. It's usually been far too hot. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.